Hey guys, Todd from Great Escape Farms here. I am standing in front of a Cornus Kousa dogwood, or a Kousa dogwood as it's commonly known. And a lot of people didn't realize that these particular fruits are edible. And they absolutely are. You can make jams and jellies and all kinds of stuff, other stuff out of it. So I just gave this tree a shake. And you can, I don't know if you can see with the colors here, but there's a lot of berries still up there. But when I gave it a shake, a number of berries fell to the ground here. So let me see if I can do this one-handed. So these are the berries that fell to the ground. You open it up and it has a yellow center. So what I'm looking for today is to pick these seeds out, and I'm going to grab the seeds and we're going to stratify these things and plant some seedlings this year. So I'm going to come along and I'm probably going to have to go inside as well, but I'm going to pick up a whole bunch of these Cornus Kousa dogwoods here, fruit here, pull the seeds out, stratify them, and plant them for next year.
So the first thing I need to do is get the seeds out of the pulp, and I'm putting them in some water here, and that I'll let that soak overnight, and that will allow me to get the rest of the pulp off. And then I will need to stratify them, and stratification or stratification is the process of putting the seeds into the refrigerator just above freezing, so 34 to 36 degrees, in wet peat moss in a paper bag, and leaving it there for about 3 months, 120 days. So this is the fruit from a Kousa dogwood. I just picked this today, and what I do is I break them open, and that is a seed right there. And again, that seed has pulp on it. This one had 2 seeds in it. So you'll find anywhere from one, actually in some cases none, you'll find anywhere from none to several different seeds in each one of these. So that one just had one.
Let me back up. What I've done the last couple days is I just kind of reached in here and I kind of just squeezed them together, and you can see some of the pulp has already fallen off. And then I just kind of held my hand over it like this, poured it out, put fresh water in, and went about my day. So now I'm actually going to pour it into a colander here, and I'm going to squeeze them together here, try to get the remaining pulp off. Not imperative that I get every little bit off, but less chance of getting mold and stuff like that going the more that I do have off. So, and after I get some going, I'll run some cold water over it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Wow, that actually went a lot better than I thought. So that's all off. Pour it back in here so you can see. I actually got one piece stuck here. That's a small seed. That might not be a viable seed, but we'll put it in anyhow. Okay, so all the pulp is off. I'm actually surprised at how well I got all the pulp off. So it might be wise just to go ahead and soak it in water for 2 days. Okay, the next step is to go ahead and bag these with some moist peat moss. So the first thing you do is label, get a bag and label it. So I'm going to do a quart size. I put in Kousa dogwood seed, Stratify Start 9/25/17. That's today's date. I will put the seeds in here. Actually, let me go ahead and do that. And the best way to do that, I found, is kind of flip the lid, flip it inside out, and the lid itself is going to hold it open some. And I got just a little bit more water in there than what I would like, so I'm going to dump that off. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a sec. So I want the seeds moist is fine. I don't want to bring water over with them. A couple more in there. Okay, so I have the seeds in the bag here, and what I'm going to do is take peat moss here, wet peat moss, and I've already done this. I've already mixed it up. I have some other seed batches I'm doing, so I got the right consistency. So what I did is I put water in, and then I started adding peat moss, and I just kind of squeezed it, and the consistency I want is for it to be moist and to squeeze it as hard as I can and get a couple of drops of water out. But I don't want to just have water running out of it. So this is the consistency, just a couple drops. I will put a handful or two in here. Move that off. And you can also use compost or, let's see, like potting soil, anything that is very, very soft and pliable, I guess you would call it, like peat moss. You don't want anything that's very, very, actually coarse sand probably would do okay, because I have had sand and stuff in there before, so that probably would work. So you notice the small seeds in here could get lost in here. I'll actually let some of the air out of here. And there's so many seeds, it would be difficult separating them. The way that I'm gonna plant these, I'm not worried about it. So if I only had a couple seeds, I could just pull them out. I probably have, what, maybe 50 seeds in here. I'm gonna put all these in one big pot, and I'm just gonna spread all of this all over when it comes out. In Coosa dogwood, I'm gonna stratify for 120 days. I will put this, by stratify, I mean I will put these in a drawer in the refrigerator and just leave them be. So let them be dark, let them be cool. I'll pull a couple planters out, just drop these in and give them a good start. I have a grow light downstairs in the basement, so that first several months they will be under a grow light, and then from there I will move them outside and I'll harden them off. And hardening off is where you put them out for an hour the first day, 2 hours the second day, 3 or 4 hours the third day, and start them out in shade and move them to more and more sun and just kind of get them used to the outside. And then they will spend all of next summer outside in a pot, and I will not dig them up. They will all be in a single pot, a very large pot. And then in the fall of next year, after they go dormant, which is when the leaves fall off, I will dig them out one by one. And at that point, I can put them in their own pots. And at that point, I can sell them in the fall of 2018 or the spring of 2019. And again, I sell bare rooted cuttings. So these will be well rooted by next year. And actually, these aren't cuttings, these are seedlings, but they will be bare root plants that I can ship anywhere in the United States except for places that are restricted. Like I don't ship to California because of the restrictions they have there. So this is how you go about doing Coosa dogwood seed. Again, if you only want to propagate a few of these, same process. You just put a couple of them in, and if you're only doing 2 or 3, or you're not doing it on mass scale like I am, you should probably just go ahead and put them in individual pots. But because I'm growing so many and I'm also doing other seeds, that's why I put them in the larger pots. So that's it for this video. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. We have lots of different videos like this on various different things, from pawpaw seeds to how to do cuttings. So lots of interesting stuff out there. Go ahead and check us out. Thank you very much and have a great day.